My name is Jonathan Wilkinson. Tens of thousands of miles and dozens of countries, dozens of cities, I watched our wonderful country go by from the vestibule of the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey circus train as I worked as a professional clown. My clown name was Moose, go figure. That was 80 pounds ago, so I will not be modeling my clown costume for you. It fits me like a condom. The circus is filled to overflowing with interesting, unique, talented individuals of every stripe and color. Strongmen from Poland, contortionists from Mongolia, acrobats from Mexico, etc., etc., etc. It's the most diverse arena you will find anywhere. To me, the most unique person on the show was a man named Mishu. He was Hungarian, late 30s. His claim to fame? Smallest man in the world, 33 inches tall, which is that tall. He'd been in and around circuses his whole life. He was very well liked, very popular. Well, when you travel on the circus train and the train pulls into town, they break it up into 5, 6, 7, 8 different parts, depending upon what is most convenient for the working people. Well, when you are outside of the train and you want to get on the train, you obviously do it by the vestibule. Not that easy always. The vestibule, you will have to open the door and latch it, then grab the floor that is on a hinge and you bring that up, thus exposing the steps. Well, the bottom step is a good 2 feet off the ground, very awkward, so they keep a footstool on the vestibule. They take the footstool, they grind it into the gravel, nice and secure, so you step on the footstool and access the bottom step. Well, for the little people like Mishu, not dwarves, not midgets, little people, they actually make a flight of stairs with 4 steps. So they walk up the 4 steps, access the bottom step of the train. Well, one day the train had arrived in town, I got out, I'm walking along, and Mishu is standing outside of his train car. There are no steps and everything is closed up. He's kind of sunk and he says, "You, come help me." So I go over, I open the door, I take the floor, and I take Mishu and put him on the bottom step. He's very grateful. He says, "You, come. This is a big moment for me." He was quite a star. So we walk down the aisle to his room. Well, we come to a normal-sized door with the keyhole. Okay, so he gets out his keys, he opens it, slides the door open, and I step into his room, and this giant grin just consumes my face. This is a room that's meant for an adult, but an adult that is this tall. There's a bed that's this long. There's a sink and a stove and a countertop that's, okay, and everything is made for somebody that size, including the furniture. He says, "Come in." And I said, "My hands are filthy from fiddling with the vestibule." And I said, "Can I wash my hands?" He goes, "Oh, sure, go ahead." Okay. He goes, You like a drink?" He's Eastern European, Hungarian. I said, "Sure, they love vodka. You know, it's 11:15, why not?" So, well, you or I going to have a drink. We take a bottle and a glass and we... No, when you're 33 inches tall, you slide the bottle over onto your hip, wrap your arm around it, hold the neck and bring it back up. Well, we had one drink, then we had a second drink, and it was really quite pleasant. And that was the most unusual drink I had ever had in my life until the next day. The circus opened that night. We had a great show, and attached to the building we were playing was a wonderful bar filled with circus people cutting loose. You work very hard, you play very hard. And Mishu is standing on top of a bar stool, which is what you do. You don't put him down on the ground, you put him up. And he's drinking and smoking and holding court. Well, a showgirl comes in, and she is on crutches, and he very graciously offers his chair to the woman. Long story short, I take Mishu, who's in his late 30s, slide him over onto my hip, and hold him like an infant. And he has a drink in one hand and a cigarette in the other, and I've got a beer in my hand, and that's how we spent the next 45 minutes. And that is the most unusual drink I have ever had. Thank you.